This podcast episode is sponsored by Heckham Senior Home Financing.
Good day, seniors and active adults. Welcome back to our YouTube podcast, Get Your Weekly Slice, where we protect, inform, and educate you, our seniors and active adults, every week about what you should know as you age. It is about keeping you, our seniors, in the know. This podcast is, have you ever thought about this? It's an old adage. You can lead them to water, but you can't make them drink. I'm going to give you some scenarios working with seniors and active adults as to what I do in providing them options, direction to their dilemmas or concerns. And mostly it's kind of frustrating, but then again, I'm okay with them reaching out to me because they feel that they can trust me. And that's one of the biggest hurdles about doing what I'm doing. Being a real estate agent, I'm different, but I'm building trust with that demographic. And I'm glad that they come to me because I'm all about protecting, informing, and educating them as seniors and active adults. So long story short, I get some people who ask questions like, at my seminar, do I know a roofer? And I say, yeah, I have a network of trusted resources and services. And the next thing out of their mouth is, are they cheap? Well, I go back to them and say, if you're looking for cheap, I'm not providing you a referral. If you're looking for someone who will do the job, do it right the first time, and stand behind their work, I will refer you who I use. Keep in mind, I don't get referral fees from any of these providers simply because we're all on the same page. It's our mission and our passion to protect, inform, and educate seniors and active adults in today's environment. There's so many people out there trying to take advantage of our seniors. And I want you to understand that this is a big part of what and why I do what I do, because I want to protect a lot of people, seniors and active adults. A lot of them aren't sure if they want to confide or trust me, but that's entirely up to them. I provide that service of trust. And again, you can lead them to water, but you can't make them drink. And sometimes they're lessons learned hard. So I had one individual, she wanted to know if I had a tax preparer and if that tax preparer would go to the independent assisted memory care community where they resided. And yes, I did have one. And yes, they're more than willing to go there and have that conversation, do her taxes, and be done. Well, about a week later, as I was at this community, I followed up with her and she said, well, um, I had a therapist working on me at the community, and he mentioned that he knew someone who would do taxes. So I called them and I said, that's fine. If you need anything else, let me know. Again, this is the frustration that I have. So about a month or 2 months later, I seen her again at the community because there's one client of mine that I visit on a regular basis. So I think I've shared with you that once you're a client, senior and active adults, and you make that transition into independent assisted memory care or you're moving into a different or smaller footprint, I still am there to answer any and all of your questions that are senior related and beyond. So I asked her how it went, and she said, well, he came here, I sat down with him, and I shared what and how I had him done before, and he wanted to charge me X amount of dollars, and I told him what I was looking to do, and he abruptly got up, slammed his book shut, and said, I can't help you, and out the door he went. So she didn't call me to give that name to her again. She felt bad because she had already asked me once, and she didn't listen to me. And I see that a lot. I don't think people understand that a real estate agent like myself, who is different, has the passion to make sure that they're protected and informed as well as educated. And it's also about them being proactive as opposed to reactive. I am honored, grateful that she contacted me. I did what I could for her, but she didn't listen. On another hand, I had another lady who was struggling making her monthly payments. So she was racking her credit cards, not paying some bills, getting hammered or abused by collectors. And I have spoken with this woman several times over the past years. We're friends, we're still friends, but she trusts me to a certain extent, but I provide options, and she doesn't never does she pull the trigger. So long story short, I put everything out there. I said, if you do this, if you do this, you do this, you'll be much better. And basically what her scenario was, and I want you to understand, it was a HECM loan for purchase, similar to the reverse mortgage from years past. But this one, keep in mind, they're similar, but they both have optional monthly mortgage payments. So that would work perfect for her. If she missed a mortgage payment, at least she wasn't going to get hammered with a late charge and watch her credit score go down. So I shared with her that this is what she needed to do, because this way, once she did it, she would have all of her credit card bills taken care of, everything locked in to the mortgage, the new mortgage, which was optional mortgage payments. And she was relieved to hear that, but again, she didn't pull the trigger. So I haven't heard from her, but I do know that she still has the house. I'm sure she's still racking up her credit cards. And the longer she waits, the worse it's going to get. And ultimately, she might end up losing everything. I feel bad for her, but there's nothing I can do. I've spent a lot of time trying to coach and strategize, put strategies together for her, what would work best. And again, reverse and HECM loan for purchase, they don't work for everybody. But in this particular situation, this would have been a win-win for her, and it would took the pressure off of her. She still owns the home, and she's still going to be ahead because prices escalate here in the Orlando area. But she chose not to go forward. So another example of you can lead them to water, but you can't make them drink.
This is Tim Linger. I'm your reverse mortgage professional. The federal government, FHA, has a very safe type of reverse mortgage for those 62 and above that live in their own home. How would you like to pull out 40 to 50% of your home's equity with optional monthly mortgage payments for the rest of your life? The basic rules are you must be 62 and above and live in the home. Give me a call. Again, this is Tim, 321-356-9229.
And here's two other scenarios close to where I live. One, I helped, went to her house. Her husband had passed away suddenly years ago. She's by herself, no family down here, but a nice individual. She allowed me to look at her house, and it was a referral from a local independent assisted memory care community. I think what's so sad about this is that I was helping her liquidate some of these big butt end TVs that we always had, but do no longer have. Nobody wants to pick them up. Nobody wants to liquidate them, trash them, or anything. So they're hard to get rid of. So because I do Meals on Wheels and I had a gatekeeper at one of these apartment complexes for low income, the community itself allowed or provided Wi-Fi network for all the residents, which really was a godsend for most of them because they couldn't afford it. But a lot of them couldn't afford a TV, so I was able to give them to the gatekeeper. She knew who needed a TV, and it was a win-win for everybody. Unfortunately, this lady, she had a few roof leaks. She got it taken care of, but nothing that couldn't have been taken care of. So $25,000, she could have had it done and paid that handyman that I provided as one of my trusted resources and services to get paid at closing. Again, a win-win. She didn't listen. So what she did was when I followed up with her, made a decision to move in to this community, which was fine. And I asked her if she needed help with the house, and she said, no, don't worry about it. I already got it sold. I said, what do you mean? And she said she sold it. She says it was a quick close, 2 weeks, and I moved in, I'm done. Well, I followed that transaction. She indeed sold it to a cash buyer, a flipper, who put in about $25,000 into the property. She sold it to them for $200,000 because she thought she didn't pay that much for it. It had the needed to have some repairs done, and it was a quick close, cash, and she didn't have to worry about it. Well, unfortunately, this is what I try to do to protect people. Is she got $200,000? That was good, but then again, the bad thing about it was 2 months later they turned around and sold it for $475,000. She left $275,000 on the table. Again, can lead them to water, but you can't make them drink. Another one, similar situation, 4 children, mother passed away. Instead of connecting with me to help them liquidate what they had in there, so I could have connected with an estate sale person, a junk person, anybody to get rid of all their stuff, take care of all of that, and get them more money. But they chose to go a similar route, and they sold theirs for $210,000. Same group, same area. They did a little work on the property, sold it for $375,000. Again, close to $175,000 left on the table for 4 people. Almost $50,000 apiece would have been part of their inheritance, but the one brother made the decision to go that route. Again, you can lead them to water, but you can't make them drink. And I've had several others where I help them. They just don't pull the trigger. I get it. It's all new to them, but I want everybody to understand that I've gone great lengths to become a certified senior housing professional. I'm there to protect, inform, and educate seniors and active adults. And most importantly, it's satisfaction for me when I know somebody trusts me to help them through that process because I know they're not being taken advantage of. That means a lot to me. But I provide them options. I give them an hour and a half of my time. I listen to what they're looking for, what's going to make them happy as they transition into that next chapter. But again, I can lead them to the water, but I can't make them drink. I provide everyone after that consultation 3 options. It's up to them to choose what they want to do, but they sometimes just don't, or they don't listen to me, and then they go with someone else, and then they regret what they did. So my point is that I have a network of trusted resources and services. I can provide all of this information. I can provide referrals. No other agent can do what I do. I get background checked every year. I'm doing and I'm providing good counsel. If I need to have one of my resources step in to finish what is in front of me, I do that. And some charge, some don't, just depends on what services are asked for and what services are provided. But the bottom line is I'm not pushy. I am who I am. I share how I can help them in the situations that are in so they can come out and at least have some money as opposed to losing everything by not doing anything. So again, it becomes frustrating for me to lead them to the water, but they choose not to drink. So I hope once you see this podcast, seniors and active adults, family members of seniors and active adults, or if you have neighbors, friends, churchgoer, or work friends who are in similar situations, you would recommend me to help them because understand I'm different than other agents. I can provide the network of trusted resources and service where other agents don't know when or how or why to take that next step in helping to protect, inform, and educate. Again, it's about being proactive as opposed to reactive. In closing, I hope you enjoyed today's Get Your Weekly Slice. If you'd like to discuss further today's topic, you can reach me via email at mike@your, Y-O-U-R, Florida, spelled out, Haven, Haven.com, or call me at 407-340-5291 to set up an appointment. I provide a free 1.5 hour in-person meeting to discuss your future plans on aging while providing you a minimum of 3 options to choose from. Don't forget to follow us and like us on Facebook and Instagram. While on my website at yourfloridahaven.com, sign up for my monthly newsletter, RSV to any of my in-person events, which are held at the Orange County Library, Smarter Senior Seminar Series events, and to view any and all of my videos and podcasts. We hope these podcasts are helpful, and if they are, please share with your friends, family, and neighbors by letting them know what we offer as certified senior housing professionals, designated real estate agents, to our seniors and active adults as they age. We're a connector. It is about keeping seniors in the know. Till next time, when you come back to get your weekly slice.
This podcast episode is sponsored by Hecom, Senior Home Financing.